Well, hello, my name is Brody, and before we get into anything, I want to say hello to all my new Lethal Company subscribers. Hi. I will keep posting Lethal Company shorts on YouTube, but as for my normal videos, I make a ton of different stuff. Okay, so for those of you who don't know what this series is, let me give you a quick recap. Around 4 years ago, there was a Kickstarter for a board game that was based off a video game, and I backed the game. Years later, it still hasn't come out, but I remained hyped about the whole project. I was so excited that I decided to 3D print every enemy in the game. Essentially, I just wanted to make the game more immersive. And this series goes over my progress to do that for this game. Between the last episode and today, I think it's been around 7 months, and I have done a lot. The game arrived here a little bit before Christmas time, and I even did an unboxing video for it. As of recording this, me and my friends are in the middle of a campaign and we're just about to finish the Haunted Keep. Before we get into the miniatures, let's go into some aspects of other stuff that I've been working on. I usually print only with my resin printer, but I recently actually built my FDM one, and now there's more possibilities. The whole board game, or should I say book, is a pretty big table hog. So the first thing I designed was this status tray. This took about 17 and a half hours. I don't know if that's a long time or not. I'm fairly happy with it, and it saves a bunch of space on the table. If you want, there's a link in the description. You can download that there. The bottom insert for the board game works, other than you can't sleeve cards without it fitting extremely snugly. Currently, it actually feels too tight in a lot of spaces. Something I really want to be able to do is take out a whole pack of cards in a case, just out of convenience. I could design my own insert for the game, but there's people already doing that. I've been talking to someone on the Discord. They are designing one, but it's not out yet. So I'll link that in the description once he releases it. Editor Brody here. He released it. Link is in the description. And while I have you here, I forgot to put this in the video, but I made armor trackers as well as my own custom save boxes. I'm still working on the Divine Immersion videos. They are on a kind of consistent output at this point. It's about 2 videos a week. With everything else going on right now, they're not currently my priority, but I still am producing them. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I make immersive soundscape narration for the board game using AI.
You are thrust into an underground arena of sorts. A rising murmur of excitement reverberates from the gallery above, where spectators place bets on the new contenders.
They do take some time to complete, some more than others. And sometimes I struggle to find ambience and battle music to put in the comments. Link in the description for that as well. The Standee Rings. I did not redesign them again, I promise. But last week, I decided to make an additional set of them. I wanted bigger ones. I wanted to print 44mm versions. But this time I used my FDM printer. I kept them black with a gold accent, mostly because I didn't want to spend time painting those when I could be painting miniatures, so just got my priorities, you know? And I think the black and gold looks pretty good, so I'll just leave it like that. The reason I wanted to make 40mm rings was because some creatures, they're meant to be big, and I didn't want to have to scale them down just to fit on a 25mm base. For example, these primitive vampires, they're meant to be big, just like in the video game. They're large, but I had to force them onto a 25mm base, so now they're not as big as they should be. And also, I already had this troll printed in 44mm, so he fits right on there. All that being said, let's jump into the meat and potatoes. The miniatures. Transition microphone. All right. I have a public Google Sheet that you can all look at. It shows where they come from, whether it be the base game or an expansion, the minimum level, minion names, how many cards there are, and the link of the model I use. There's also a little bit of notes here if a model costs money, and then my own personal progress here. I usually have it sorted by level because lower levels you're going to see sooner, so those are the ones I'm going to finish sooner. So it's a pretty long list. I believe there's like 53 total bad guys. Don't quote me on that, but let's just get into showing you what I've done and what I haven't done. Well, first actually, let me show you the miniatures that have been painted from the actual board game itself. So I'll preface this by saying my friend painted these. I feel as if they are more important miniatures than the minions themselves. He's a good painter. I am okay at best, so I let him do that. So here's Beast, pretty good job. Like these little details here goes all the way through the back. He's actually playing this guy, so potentially he spent more time on that guy. I don't know. This is Sabille. I think he did a pretty good job. Different than how the board game art was, but it's more true to the video game art, if you will. I will say, zooming in on any of them will look rough. It's a miniature, it's not meant to be enhanced. Not the biggest fan of her skin tone. It kind of makes it look like a mask. I'm Cassian. I think he did a swell job on this. My buddy decided to paint his hair white, kind of like a Targaryen. I dig it. And then we got this guy. I pronounce his name wrong every time, but he looks cool. I think it's mostly dry brushed, and yeah. And then the one and only, Slain the Winter Dragon. It looks amazing, honestly. I'm very happy with how Slain turned out. What I am unhappy with, though, is the fact that he is too big. He isn't really playable. He has no purpose other than to look super cool. And super cool he looks. It's wonderful. Outstanding. Our little deal is he paints what I want for him, and I'll 3D print what he wants me to. Anyways, all right, we're going by level and I guess alphabetical. I don't know. This model was actually based off a different guy we'll see later. I should say woman. I think this is a woman, right? But the armor doesn't match it too well. It matches the original one it's based off of. But again, gets the job done. They have their hand up like that, and so does he. There. Oh my god, I got hiccups. Okay, next. Bandit Guard. So these guys are like the same theme. I don't think this guy's an elf though. Regardless, he has a little bit more skin showing. Still does the job. He has a hood. A weird like scale mail type hood. But the big thing is, he's green. He has a knife. It works. These are like the very first things I printed, and I am not happy with them. And I might at some point even use them on the 40mm bases. Scale them up because they're like little baby crocodiles. They're not that scary looking, and honestly the paint job's horrid. Dark Hands Lackeys. I think I made 3 of these guys, and apparently there's only 2. He's Pirate from Loot Studios. Yeah, he's a little happier here looking than what he should be, but whatever. I'm very happy with my Magister Guards. This model worked wonderfully. I'm just really happy with them. They look great, I think. I have no problem with them other than maybe like these bumps on the sword that are from the supports. The sword was very thin, so I didn't want to risk breaking the sword. Magister Ranger. This one was a tough one to find. Looking back at it now, I really should have brought it into Blender and shrunk this arrow. It does not need to be that long, and there's no way she's pulling that bow that far back. It's a bit ridiculous, and the arrowhead is giant. But again, it gets the job done. I don't think I could have found a better model. Ruffians. Okay, this one, in the original art, I referenced this in my unboxing video, but this guy was called Drunk Villager. So I have a bunch of people with beers. Beers. And I only had 3, and I had a woman. But once I saw the ruffian is no longer drunk, I was like, oh damn, this doesn't make much sense anymore. So I edited the model of the original, and I put a fist there, so now he's like, ooh, kind of like in the picture. Again, gets the job done. I believe I showed these last time. I don't know if they were painted. I edited already existing model, and I turned them into this. I'm pretty happy with it. They might actually be bigger than I thought. Oh, they have legs? These are kind of like legs. I didn't realize this whole time. So this is a leg. He has 4 legs. I thought they were like stumps. Oh well. Source Hound, I showed this one a long time ago. I don't know if I ever showed it painted. Don't think I could have found a better model for this either. Obviously he has like these weird goggles on, but whatever. These guys look amazing. This was actually painted by my friend too. Undead Geomancer. So I'm struggling with the skeletons a bit. There's quite a bit of skeletons in the game. So I'm reusing the same models for all of them until maybe I want to print some more. Because the model works for so many different kinds of minions, I don't think I need to print every single one. The skeleton's a skeleton, you know? Later we'll see the minion I based the model off of, and it'll match a little more. This is the bandit that I was talking about earlier, the very first one we saw. I decided to put the other ones for the Aerothurge bandit and print some new ones for him. I noticed the difference was some shoulder armor. So I added some shoulder armor to these guys. Once I paint them, they'll be good. They'll be good. Charged Frog. These are frogs. I'll paint them to be bluish. Griff. Okay, I want to say first of all, in the video game, he doesn't look like he's from a Pixar movie. These are 2 models I fused together. Actually 3, I guess the sword, but it's a body and a head that I fused together. All the links for everything is in that Excel sheet, so you can just check that out. Silent Monks, I think these guys are great. They could have been a little taller, but I'm very happy with them. Yeah, there's only 2 of them. Another undead mage type using the same models. I only have 2 of them, so I hope there's never 4 at one time, or 3 at one time. Voidwoken, these are from Loot Studios. They're bugs with white shells. Wolves, these are some of the first things I painted too. I did go back and make them a bit darker, I believe. I had to paint a 3rd one because there's supposed to be 3 total. I'll probably get to that at some point. And then we have things that I haven't done. I tried to print this guy. I found a model for him, but the print failed and we passed that part, so I don't need him yet anyways. Artillery Plant. Honestly, this is the best model I can find for it. And looking back at it now, I should have taken the top part and making it much smaller. Fire Slugs. We passed this in the campaign, so I didn't paint them yet. I primed them black. But yeah, they're slugs. Floating Eyes. All right, this one was kind of difficult. I didn't get the blue right, but that's okay. It does the job. These were actually like sci-fi floating eyes. This is for Haunted Keep. I had to weld some resin there. So here is a bunch of resin I just cured with a torch. It wasn't secure, so I had to just weld some more into it. This is from the Haunted Keep as well. It's just amalgamation of dead things. I couldn't find one that was skeleton like those, but I found this fleshy one, which I think is pretty good. You can see there's like just guts and yeah. Memory Eater. This is about where we are in the campaign. Honestly, I don't know what to search to find that. I don't know what that is. It says Memory Eater, and I'm just like, hey, you know what? Let's get some like Grim Reaper, Ghost, Harry Potter ass stuff. And that's what I did. And I also welded some, you can see this big bulb here. I welded this with more resin. He was definitely not secure. The base support that goes into him was extra thin. Not just Salamander for now. I'm just going to use the crocodiles. Things like that where there's like the skeletons, the crocodiles, I'll just do later because they're so similar to what these things already are. The primitive vampire I was talking about, he looks a little better in this picture, but I made him a little too fleshy. He's pale in this picture, and the actual paint job I did is too fleshy. Radica. So she's like some sort of witch. She's in the video game too. She's got some boobage going on. So to me, it was important to get a model that also had some boobage. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a bald model. The quality of this print looks great to me. I'm very happy with it. Undead Inquisitor. Again, skeletons. Undead Knight. I made these guys a long time ago thinking we're going to fight some undead knights, but there was none. This is the only undead skeleton you fight in the board game that has a sword and a shield. So that's what they're going to be used for. I'm pretty happy with these. Actually, yeah, these are great. This model fits like almost perfectly. This is Haunted Keep again. I found a model on Thingiverse. I edited it and made it match him a little more. Cold Crawler Voidwoken. Big bug. Don't have that done yet. Giant Spider. Recently printed this. I don't know how I'm going to paint it yet. In the picture, it looks very brown for some reason. These are 44 millimeters, so they are big spiders. Magister Houndmaster. Yeah, I'll find a model. Looks like a knight in armor. It'll be easy to find one for him. Okay, these guys are interesting though. There's 3 of them. For now, they're probably going to get the skeleton treatment because he is a skeleton, but I would like at some point to print specific skeleton models for him. Like that one. This is Undead Ranger. This one's only used for this. Winged Demon, this is from the Nemesis pack. I've seen a lot of models that look similar to this, so this won't be too hard to find a model for. Kind of looks like a Balrog. Snow Warden, I'll probably search something like Elemental, Golem, Snow, Cold, Water, something like that. I'll find something. He might be floating though, which is problematic. Source Tiger, I'm pretty sure there's already a model in the box for this guy, so I'll just be using him, and there's one of one here. It's not like he needs to fit on a standee, you know? Voidwoken Deep Dweller. No idea what I'm going to do for this guy. No idea really what he even is. He might have been in the game. I don't know. We got White Wolves. which I did not expect. Probably for now, I'm just gonna use the normal wolves. This guy almost, because he's not painted, he just looks like a white wolf already. It might be problematic in the future if I do the dungeon mode, having all these models being used for different minions, but hopefully by that point, I'm gonna actually have separate models for each minion. Okay, this is the undead Cryomancer Guardian. Whew. He's going like this. He has a staff on his back. Demon Grunt. Don't know what I'm using for him yet. Demon Hound. Nemesis expansion 2. I could probably find something for that. Demon Worm. This one might be a difficult one, but we'll see. That's actually terrifying. Kraken Tentacle. I'm a little annoyed by this one, I'll be honest. The miniature upgrade pack comes with 4 tentacles, but down here you can see there's meant to be 6. So like, I don't know. I don't know what to do with that. Am I printing tentacles? Even though they don't, I don't know. Magister Captain, this is easy enough to find. He's a knight with a 2-handed sword. It might be annoying to paint though with all those gold highlights, but I think that'll be a fun one. Magister Elementalist. This is one I'm pretty happy with. There's 3 of them total apparently, which I didn't expect. I printed another one and I broke the bottom of her staff, and her skin tone does not match whatsoever, which I didn't realize until I made this image. Whatever. YOLO, you know? Seeker Knight. I think I'm actually going to have trouble finding this one. And the Troll. This is painted by my friend. I only have one. I just photoshopped this to show both sides of him. I don't know if we're ever going to fight 2 at the same time. Maybe that's just for the dungeon part. Pretty happy with it. Yeah, Troll. And I think this is the last one. The Watchtower. This one I'm pretty excited to print. I'll probably do that on the FDM printer. I'm not going to print it at full scale because I'll take too much room up, but I'll print it slightly smaller. And it doesn't move, so it doesn't need a stand. Okay, that was a lot. Just for fun, here's a picture of the board game with the stock miniatures and my miniatures in play. It's been a lot of fun playing the game. All these side projects I have regarding the game has also been fun, but it's a lot. I think I'm a little over halfway when it comes to printing every minion, so that's good. The next episode, I will likely just showcase everything, assuming I'm done. Okay, bye. Check out Divine Immersion. Bye. These boys here. Oh, there's stuff under it too. That's crazy. These are player boards and they look fantastic. They look great. Absolutely fantastic. Underneath